people know what to do, right? They know where they want to go, but for some reason they do something different, either because they're affected by the opinion of a board member or their spouse at home or co-founder or something. So what I do is I just ask questions. I'm like, are we building the best possible product and service that we can be?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
So what tools, Peter, do you have to enroll? Because I know that the founders or everyone that you coach, if you tell them you have to do this, they're not going to do it.
Yes.
So how can you enroll them in the possibility? One way is exactly what you did, which is amazing, which is stories, yeah, so they can understand. But do you have any specific way that you do things? Because if we don't pass this barrier and the founder and CEO don't surrender that ego, we're not going to go really far, right?
No, exactly right. And I think another way of doing this is asking questions. So what I do as a coach, essentially, I help people trust the answers within. Most people know what to do, right? They know where they want to go, but for some reason they do something different, either because they're affected by the opinion of a board member or their spouse at home or co-founder or something. So what I do is I just ask questions. I'm like, are we building the best possible product and service that we can be? Yes or no? Typically the answer is no. Okay, why is that? Why is it not the best thing? Well, because we wanted to have all these bells and whistles, all these features. You talked about tech people before. It's always about. So how do we know that those features are the ones that we need to be building? Well, that's a good question. Actually, we don't. I think it would be neat. I'm like, okay, it's neat. But if we think about the effort that it takes to build, are we then sure that we want to spend that effort building that neat thing, or should we look at building some of the things that might also be necessary? So if you have that kind of dialogue and that kind of questioning, most of the time, even a very tech-focused founder with a big ego will come to the conclusion that, gee whiz, maybe we should build the stuff that our customers will actually pay us to do without, and this is an important caveat, we shouldn't just do something because a big customer says we should do it. That's another thing that happens, right? You have a big contract with a big customer and they're like, we would like this thing to look like this. And then the entire company goes in that direction without actually considering, is that the right thing to do for the product? So my point is, people have the answers within. Yes, we should take feedback from the market and our customers. But at the end of the day, we are the captain of the ship. And we need to decide where we're going to sail it to, knowing what the consequences are of saying to big customer, no, you're not going to get this thing, or whether or not to build different features.
And now, Peter, let's talk about, because you share with us, you're not an entrepreneur, you are a serial entrepreneur, because you have built already 5 companies. And here's the thing. Building one company is already difficult. It's already challenging. You have to build the brand. Yeah, a lot of people come to me and tell me, Harry, let's open this company, and I'm thinking, oh my God, build the brand again, start all over again. So tell us, how was your journey from entrepreneur to serial entrepreneur, which is completely different ballgame?
Well, I think I got addicted. I got addicted to the idea of being in control and having the freedom and flexibility to work on the things that I thought mattered. I normally say I'm not really good. I can't be an employee anymore. But that started when I was in my late 20s. Once I built my first business.
So you're an employee since you're 20 years old?
Yeah. So I started my first company, maybe 30. I started at 30 or 29. I started my first business.
And then you become unemployable from that day, right?
Exactly. But so that's the point, right? I basically got addicted to the fact that I could do whatever I wanted and didn't have. Naively, I thought I didn't have anybody to report to. But of course, at some point, I got investors or board members, right? But in the beginning, at least, I was like, this is so great to be in control of my own fate and test and try things. I'm a very curious human being. I read a ton, I do a ton of different things, and I could do that in business. I couldn't do that if I was an accountant somewhere necessarily. So that's point number one. How did I go from company number one to company number two and company number six? I found great people. I found people who shared my way of looking at the world, but yet had a unique take on it. And oftentimes it was them having a new idea that I then helped grow from an idea to an actual company. So I've been involved in a number of different businesses. There's not like a red thread. The red thread there is that I can take something from nothing to a company with several hundred employees relatively easily because there is a structure, a pattern, a way of doing this. And that's the methodology that I deployed.
So what's the secret to find great people? Tell us.
Time.
I agree with you.
So a mistake that I see many founders make is they hire relatively quickly because we have a need. We need to find somebody to head up customer service. We need to find a new designer. We need to find this. This person looks good. We'll just take them.
Especially at the beginning.
Exactly. And that's mistake number one. You hire way too fast. Number two, which is correlated, is you don't spend enough time with people. You don't fully understand, is Harry, not only does he have the technical skills or the qualifications, but is he the kind of person that will fit well with us? Is he the kind of person who will be there, in 3 years when things are really difficult and we need to find solutions? Is he the person who has the stomach to go through the journey we're going to go on? So actually, I'm writing a book about this topic.
Very good.
That
takes a lot of time to find the right people, Peter, yeah?
Exactly. It takes a ton of time. And so...
But it's necessary.
What I tell people... Sorry, go ahead.
Do you think that it is actually necessary to allocate that time in that space, right?
Yes, it's absolutely necessary.
I agree with you.
Because everything you do will come back to the people that you work with. It is less important what a competitor is doing. It is less important whether you get funding or not. It's less important whether your product fails. All that stuff will happen. But you need the people with whom you can manage through those things when they happen. And so it's the number one thing. I don't know what to tell you. You need to spend more time doing it, and you need to take it more seriously than you do.
Yeah, and I think, Peter, let's expand a little bit more on that, because, for example, and this is true story, our IT director, he started as a junior, have been working with us for, I don't know, more than 10 years. I don't even remember. Yeah, been around in our company, in all the companies that we have done. He always is the director of the tech space, and he didn't went to university. He doesn't have a degree in software developer, and well, it have been some projects that he has a lot of people with university degrees and high qualified people, and he's managing everyone. And let's go to the point that a lot of entrepreneurs that we had the interview, when I asked them, if you had to start all over again, what would be that thing that you really would put a lot of more energy, more effort? What would you do again? I emphasize, and a lot of people have told me, Harry, culture. If I knew that it's gonna build this business, gonna be 100 times harder than what I thought, and it's gonna take all this energy and things, I will pay a lot of attention to culture, which it comes to bringing the right people. And sometimes, Peter, the attitude, I believe in this. Sometimes the attitude, the way that the person is, because sometimes, when I hire, if I find the right attitude that this person is gonna click in our company, I always say, 2 months, 3 months, eventually he will learn the specific that he has to do. I'm more interested in the attitude. I'm more interested in the productivity. My company, for example, even today, I never hear in our company 4 years somebody say, this is not my job.
Right.
Never. For years. Because when they go jump in the company, we need 360 people, especially in the small organizations, and we need people to have this proactivity. Yeah. So with my IT director or the people who work with us, I say, even this podcast, we didn't have any clue. I still don't have any clue. I'll talk to my team, listen, I want to do a podcast, figure out everything. And they told me, Harry, give us 3 weeks. And after 3 weeks, they come back to me and say, Harry, just press the button. That's it. Press it and forget about the rest. We process it, we upload it in Spotify, we put it in Apple, we put it in social media, we do the charts, we do everything. You don't just press the button, it's all done. They didn't know either how to do it, right? But they had this ability to work with me to do the research, and little by little, 3-4 weeks, I have this mindset that, okay, this is what the company needs. Even if we don't know, let's work. So what is your view on culture, Peter? If it's really, really important, and do you think that people take culture seriously? We have cases before of big companies that, I don't know, they have all white male CEOs and in the C-level, and now they're realizing, wow, my customers are all diverse. And they're not resonating with the board and with the people that they're buying. And so how culture fit into this, and how you develop this leadership skill where you manage to bring the right people that don't not only have the knowledge how to do the job, but be enrolled in your idea in a way that you want to run the company that fit easily there. So how important is culture?
Okay, so there's a bunch of questions there, but we'll start with the.
I asked a lot of questions, especially for someone like you, culture questions.
So the culture question, there's this kind of joke that culture is not ping pong tables and pizza Fridays, right? And that is also true. But I do think that the activities that you do around work is part of building culture. The way you get a great culture is to get great people. The culture you're going to have at the company is a reflection upon of the values and the intentions of the people that you hire. So again, we're back to hiring the right people. Once you have those, letting them create the culture, letting them sort of together figure out how is it that we want to be in this work life together in this company. What are the activities we want to do? In some of my companies, we had a lot of social activities outside of work. In some of my companies, we didn't, because the people in those companies, they wanted to be together in a different way. And so we didn't force anything. We kind of let it have its own life. So that's the culture bit. But the other thing that you're talking about is diversity, right? And I've been a huge proponent of diversity my entire life, because I moved to the United States at a relatively young age. That's where I started my first company. And there I met a world where everybody was from somewhere else. All sorts of colors, religions, sexual orientations, whatever it was, they all came together in New York City. I'm from Denmark. Everybody here looks like me. I mean, you meet a 50-year-old guy in Denmark, he has a gray hair, he's bald. Right? And you've been here, so you know. But what happened was, I very quickly realized, and research has since proven this out, more diverse companies do financially better. It's just, if you have more women on the board, companies tend to do better. If you have more people of color or minorities in your leadership team than otherwise, you do better.
Or immigrants,
It is so obvious, right? We have different perspectives. We see different openings in the market. We lead differently. You're a very empathetic guy, but I think most people would agree that empathy often comes in the form of a female leader, right?
Yeah.
So it rubs off. We learn something from each other. We can teach women to be more assertive, maybe, and they can teach us to be less assertive. And so the way you do that is just having not only policies, but also a strategy to hire more diverse people from the beginning, because those are the people who are going to rise through the ranks and eventually make the leadership.
Follow us for more interviews with the world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.